Okay. So I just got all my teachers upset. I keep saying, we're going to record. I know that's not how you say it, but it all depends. That's how some people say it. We're going to record or record. Okay. Again, let me highlight this. I don't even know about the company. I've had this for years. It really helps when you have a catch and you need to have somebody press it. Okay, so maybe you can't go to get a massage, or you can't have somebody do trigger point therapy on you. Well, you can do your own. So just to be on the record, I don't make no money off this. I have no nothings about it. It's just a tool that I know works. And you push a button in the middle and it unhooks. And it's called the BacknobberII, the original BacknobberII. That's what it's called. And you go to a company called www.backtools.com. Backtools with an S.com. The pressure positive company. Now, what am I doing? I'm going to do some holding things, but I have this little back number that I wanted to show you. As I've done before, some of you weren't here, some of you were here. There's a big curve in the S and there's a small curve in the S. The big curve can go around the mid section all the way into the hip. The small one can go around the shoulder, but you could use it literally anywhere, in your foot, where you need a pressure. You could step on it and rub your foot around, whatever you need to do. This would really help. I don't think they're very expensive, maybe 40 something like that. I don't know. I haven't looked. I'll have to go on the website. But I wanted to introduce that to you because that's something you can do on your own, very low cost, you know. So what do I have? I have 2 garden pads. I think I got Chrissy's attention. I bought these from Duluth. It's one of the more sturdy ones, Chrissy. Duluth Trading Company. And it's just a garden pad so that you can kneel on it. It has a firm side and it has a spongy side. So it's not as spongy as our balance pad. So if you were having issues and even trying to balance yourself was a little too much pressure, then go to a little narrower. This is a garden pad. But if you don't have one of those, absolutely put your balance pad in the floor. That would be fine. And so put your balance pad in the floor. I've got these 2. They're only 1 inch in depth. Okay, 1 inch. So if you are feeling like your back is on the edge, just a little, I'm telling you, step on the balance pad or a garden pad. Just a simple garden pad. I have 2 of them, so you can use one or the other, or none, And here's what your first task is going to be. Take your bar and open your upper back. And you might say, well, I told you it was my lower back. Or normally you have back problems in your lower back. But guess what happens? When you start having a catch in your back, one of the very first things you do is come in. Okay? That's number 1. So we want to open that up. A bar is one of the best ways I know to do that. So I'm going to take my bar. I'm going to go right here to my knee. I'm going to turn to start with. I'm not going to take it up first. Now, when I turn, I'm going to soften my knees. So, in a sense, I'm doing a holding pattern with a knee soft, a slight hip hinge, but very extended in my back. So when I go to turn with my hands open here, my knees are soft, and I'm going to go until I feel a little stretch coming through here right through here, and I'm gonna pull my arms around. Then I'm gonna come to the center, take a big breath through my nose, bring it up, bring my elbows out, see, push them back. So I'm already starting to open through here. Take a breath through the nose, soften up your knees, turn, not fast, just turn. Now, right now, drop your shoulders. Big breath through the nose, come to the center, say rib cage up, elbows are up, drop your shoulders, turn until you feel just a little stretch. See, I'm not pivoting. My feet are stationary. That's the holding part. That's the number one holding part that I'm doing. See, I'm not walking front to back. I'm opening my upper body and I'm taking some deep breaths through my nose. Now, right here, right this minute, if I came to your room right now, and you were in this position, I would have to put my hands on your shoulders because you let them come up. Drop them. Drop your knees. Turn. Don't think you have to go into a bunch of repetitions. You do not. We're focusing on holding. See how my elbows are up, my shoulders are down, I'm breathing through my nose. My knees are soft and I'm really pulling. Then I come to the center and I reposition. So I'm in, my toes are in a very splayed position. My knees are soft, shoulders are down. And as I turn carefully, I really have to emphasize that you pull that elbow as far back as you can, but drop your shoulders, drop your shoulders, drop your shoulders, come back, okay? Now we're gonna go for the real opening. So we started the movement. We're gonna bring the bar right up here. I think we did this the other day. I'm not sure. I think so. My knees are soft. So right now, drop your shoulders as if I had my hands on your shoulders, okay? Let it just be here for a bit, okay? Wiggle your fingers. Go front to back with your knees. Your knees are soft. And see, I'm shifting from the heels to the toes. Not a lot. See, if you do it a lot, you're going to start going a little too far forward or you're a little too far back. And why do I not want you to do that? Because when you do that, you're going to have to catch yourself from falling off balance. So I'm trying to maintain balance, keep my chin tucked, get my rib cage up. Now drop your shoulders as if I had my hands right on your shoulders. Yes, that's what I mean. Take a big breath. Okay, look at my elbows. They're not pointing back now, are they? They're pointing down, okay? I know. I'll have to spell that for you at some point. Now, you don't see what I'm doing, but right now, as I shift from heel to toes, slowly, dropping my shoulders constantly, I'm slipping the bar more back to the back of the head. See, very gently. So soften up your knee, take a big deep breath. Okay, now you see I've lowered the bar so that it's right behind the occipital bone in my head. Yeah, right there. Your elbows are pointing down, okay? They're not pointing back, they're pointing down. Loosen up your grip. Okay, as you're pushing the bar into your head, push your head back against the bar. Keep shifting, keep your knees soft, shoulders down, breathing. Shift from the heels to the midfoot to the front of the foot. Now go back, slowly, drop your shoulders, push your head back, do it again, drop your shoulders, push your head back, keep your chin tucked. Take a big breath through your nose, big breath through your nose. Drop your chin, drop your chin. See, I'm shifting heel to midfoot. Okay, now bring that bar down just about 1 more inch. Push back against the bar with your head. Push back. Okay, take a breath. Bring it up and bring it down. That should get your attention to just how far forward you were coming. And that's just through the night. I hope it got your attention. Okay, here's my bar. What am I standing on? So if I don't have a garden pad like I have here, it's only 1 inch. It's not hardly 1 inch thick. The balance pad is about a little bit more than 2 inches thick. So you would have been standing on this, doing the very same thing. It's just that holding pattern. You've got to pay attention to what you're doing with your postural lineup, okay? So now, the biggest thing I want you to do right now, as you step off of that garden pad, you've got a pole, so you don't lose your balance. So what we just did was try to open you up here, okay? That's number 1. Take a big deep breath. I tried to activate your feet by having you rotate from heel to toe, back and forth, not too much. If you use this bar, drop your shoulders and don't press hard into it, okay? Now I'm going to try to do something to help open through your hip. Believe it or not, something that's happening in your hip or knee could be causing your back problem. So I'm going to take one leg, I don't care which. I'm going to slip it behind my toe. I think I did this the other day too. I'm going to do 3 of the basic things to help your back reset. And I'm focusing on holding today. I'm not doing tons of repetitions. I'm holding either 1 or 2 parts of your body while we move another one. And yeah, that's typical, but I'm really emphasizing that. You see what I just did? I slipped my foot from just behind in a tandem stance, dropping my shoulders, take a big deep breath. Use this as a balance assist. Then I'm going to lift my whole foot and bring it over to the side. Then I'm going to straighten that leg. Okay, the front knee is bent just a little. Drop your shoulders. Now push your hips forward with the back leg very straight. Okay. Now everybody's got their own challenges. So let me just say, don't push into any position that is painful. And I'm not talking about your inflexible painful. I'm talking about an acute, something's not right. You see what I'm doing right now? I'm putting a gentle hyperextension on my back to help open up my back. And my flexor right here is really getting a chance to open, okay? Now come out of that extension, put your foot back, and then put your foot over here. And then just step up gently, and then step back, okay? Just to reposition. Okay, take a big breath. Got another leg. Here we go. If you've got a back acting up, it's just on the edge, it's just a little tight. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a little tight. So I'm trying to help you undo some of those things. So I'm going to go from this position. My knees are soft, my shoulders are down, breathing through the nose so that you really work your diaphragm. Soften the knees, bring that other leg, the front leg back now. So now that one's going to be in back, okay? So now I'm in tandem. Now I'm going to go ahead and move it all the way over. I'm going to cross the midline, and instead of hunkering down like this, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to open, very big extension, and then we're going to push the hips forward while we keep our chin tucked. Then the thumbs are going to be going back. So even if you're holding onto a bar, just push your thumb back. Okay, now push your hips forward again. Yeah, pushing your hips forward. That's going to create that openness right here. And it's going to help open through the spine. Okay, and then come back. So why is that so valuable? Because when we're working when we're taking steps, when we're ambulating. We are constantly going into this trajectory, constantly. You have to fight that. And in order to fight it, you got to be aware of it. So a simple way to do it is just say rib cage up. Pretend I'm behind you and my fingertips are right in your rib cage and I'm gonna pull them up, okay? The minute you do that, your belly button comes in, you drop your shoulders, you have to tell yourself to do that. You give yourself a fighting chance at this constant gravitational pull to do this. And you know when it happens? Your first step, when you go to get up to take those first steps, and I'll show it to you in just in a second, is you come in and then you take those steps and then you may straighten up. And I'm telling you, no, stop yourself, hesitate, wait for a second, rib cage up, see that? Then take that first step with your back in extension. Now, after you have held it in extension, you get tired, especially if you're on the edge with your back. We're going to do some holding things with our little band here today too. So I have my bounce pad on the seat of my chair. And if you happen to be on the edge with your back ever, or your knee, and here's the thing to know. When you have messed up a knee, a hip, an ankle, unless you're really aware of how you're walking and stuff and taking breaks, you will get a back. You probably I won't say 100%, but 99% of the time, you're going to kick up a back problem. Okay. So now I'm going to go wide. I'm going to hip hinge and I'm going to go to sit down, but I'm not going to do it unassisted. I'm going to do the holding pattern philosophy, even sitting down. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to start saying to myself, okay, I have a good postural lineup. I'm going to hip hinge. My chin is tucked. I'm going to put my hands here. And I want to know, how is my back feeling? See, how is my hips feeling? All the way down. So you're doing little holding patterns until you get right down to here. Once you're there, you're going to turn, because see, we did a lot of forward and back type stuff so far, right? You got to give your back a rest. So here's the rest. And this is part of the steps of getting out of that. Oh man, I just feel tight on one side. Yeah, I know. So what am I going to do? I'm up 2 inches. So I'm going to hip hinge. I'm going to take one elbow. I'll put this here so you're not distracted. I'm going to use it in just a minute. I'm going to take the opposite elbow to opposite leg idea. However, I have to come down to the leg level. Okay. I can't ask myself to go down here if I can't move that far without arching my back. Okay. So I have to be careful. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to hip hinge, and then I'm going to put one elbow on one side of the knee. See? Opposite. Then I'm going to look over my shoulder here. See that? So down here, I'm holding with this hand and I'm resting my elbow on my knee. See that? I'm pushing my knee against my elbow as I turn. Okay, that's setting up a great holding stretch a gentle stretch for my back. Okay, drop your shoulders, keep that elbow there, keep looking over the shoulder. See that? Now, don't come up from this position. Come back to neutral with your elbows on your knees. See that? See? Okay. Now I want you to really pull that chin in and then lift your chin. Okay? So that's not a move that I've encouraged you to do simply because I'm reticent to do it when I'm not right there. But you've exercised, those of you who have been with me for a while, to know what's acceptable move and when you're doing a little slug move, right? You know that, okay? So my elbows are on my knees, number one. I'm hip hinged. My back is an extension. And then I'm going to push on my elbows and I'm going to just push my upper back as I drop my head. And then I'm going to go slowly into what would be a cat camel move. But we're doing it from a chair right now. So now I'm going to lift my chin. I'm pushing my elbows into my knees. That's number one. My shoulders are down. I'm lifting my chin. See? So my chin is in. And then as it's in, I keep pushing on my elbows and I gently take that chin up. So I just do a head nod. And then I come down and now I'm going to go to the other side. So your feet are down on the floor. Okay. Shoulders are down, taking a breath. Now I'm going to turn and I'm going to put opposite elbow on opposite knee. I'm using my hand on my leg to give myself some support. And now I'm turning and I'm looking over that shoulder. Here's what you should notice. You should notice that on one side versus the other side, it's much easier for you to look really far over your shoulder. One side you can go really far, one side you can't go so far. I know exactly which side is mine, so I have to work at it. So take a breath, keep that elbow on that knee, keep that other hand on that leg, look back behind your shoulder, pushing down, breathing. Now don't come up, come right to the center. Now is when you do the modified cat camel is all that we're doing. So my elbows are on my knees. So if I had a back, and I've done this and I will continue to do it, if I woke up this morning, my back was just a little bit tight because of whatever, this is one of the main moves I do. And I do it modified, probably, until I see where I'm going. So what am I doing right now? I'm dropping my shoulders, my elbows are on my knees, and now I'm changing the position of my hip bones. How am I doing that? I'm pulling my belly button in, and I'm lifting my shoulders up, and I'm really pushing as hard as I feel I can. And I'm holding in this for just a little bit. So my belly button's pulling in, shoulders are at my ears. I'm in a mad cat position. I'm rounding my upper back by pulling my shoulders forward to my ears. And now slowly I'm going to rotate. And now I'm going to go into an hyperextension. So now I'm going to lift my chin. And I'm really going into that hyperextension. Take a big deep breath. Take a big deep breath. Take a big deep breath. Great job. Okay, staying in this position. We got one more to do while we're in here. And I started it with the holding this bar over our head. So where I'm down in this position, I'm going to keep one elbow on one knee. I don't care which. I'm going to bring an elbow back. See? See this move? This is a very important move for you to do right now because I'm going to open that arm back. But I don't start by throwing it. See, that's where everybody, they see me do this and they think that's what they're supposed to do. Nope. Drop your shoulders. Keep your chin tucked. Put your feet down. You're leaning into one elbow for support. Number one, you're not asking your back to hold this. You're putting your elbow down here, but drop your shoulder. Bring the elbow back first. See? Now take that arm and reach it back and put it on the back part of your kitchen chair. Okay, now right now, you gotta drop those shoulders because they want to come up. Right now, you're pushing against your groin muscles right here. See, I'm pushing that leg out with my arm as it's fighting to pull in. So I'm keeping it from coming in. That way, now I have a groin or an adductor muscle stretch going on. See? Drop your shoulders, take a breath. We're holding. Yeah, try not to come out of it. Drop your shoulders. Push that elbow against that leg. Push it. Take a big breath. Drop your shoulders. Now, slowly come down. Come in and come down. See that? Now, when you're down here in this position, you're in a kind of a little bit of a drop position because you're sitting up higher. That's what I want, okay? Drop your shoulders. Got it? Now I'm going to take the other arm. Am I going to just crank it out there? No, I'm not. Number one, drop my shoulders. Take a breath. Keep on all my opened up feet. Don't lift your heels right here. Now, start the action right here. Push against that leg. As you start to pull the elbow back, now you're going to reach back behind that chair as you're pushing on your knee, the inside of your knee. You are putting that arm way back. And we're going to hang out here for just a few minutes, okay? Drop your chin, drop your shoulders, keep your feet down, push that elbow against that leg, push it, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, just hold 5 more counts, drop your shoulders again, 3, 2, 1. Now bring the elbow down, bring it in, and then come right into this position again. Now do that cat camel one more time. Here we go. Shoulders come to the ears. The back opens, the upper back opens. We tighten in our tummy. Take a big deep breath. Hold it. Push back on those shoulders blades. Push back. Your shoulders are coming up to your ears. Then release, 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 release. See how I rolled back and forth? So you've just gone and contracted and changed the position of your whole pelvic and hip area, okay? And we did it seated. I didn't even get in the floor yet to do anything. Okie dokie. Big deep breath. Are you ready? This is going to be a big one for you if you are having back issues, and just go gently. So I'm going to turn again gently, drop my shoulders. Yes. Then I'm going to reach to my foot. Okay. I'm going to keep this knee open. So as I slip my hand down here to my ankle, I'm doing a transverse move. Okay. And it's done very carefully. Then I slip the elbow back up. I drop my shoulders again. Okay, I tighten in my tummy. My goal is to put my hand around my ankle, but I'm not rounding my back on this one. I'm pulling myself in a transverse motion, turning, holding, pulling against that ankle, holding, and then slip that elbow back up. You got it? Yeah. Okay. Now, how are you going to get up from this position? I'm going to tell you right this minute, one of the biggest problems when you're overcoming back issues. A lot of people would be in this position and just go ahead and attempt to sit right up from this position because they think, well, how hard can that be? You are putting a lot of pressure on your back. It's not to say that's bad. It's just that when you're on the edge, you want to keep the pressure off. You want to move with the pressure off. So how do you do that? I'm not going to ask my back to pull me up from this position. I got my elbows on my knees. My shoulders are down. Everything's good. I'm going to put one hand here, push, and come into position. That's how you do that. But normally, somebody would be down here and they would just rip all the way straight up. Bad idea, okay? Now, take a breath. The feet are going to be out here. I'm going to put my hands here. If I had back that was on the edge, I would not go from a sit to stand unassisted. This is assisting. See this? Right here. And up. That's how you do that. If you're having joint issues, especially back issues, you bring your hands right into here and you come down. You want to put the pressure right here in these big muscles. You want to take the pressure off your back and off your knees. Okay? Big breath, drop your shoulders, press, and we're up. Yes. Now, if you're on the edge with your back and or any other joint, okay? You have to, everybody's different with what is their issue. But I would tell you, even if you're walking around and you have a back issue, or you know, you're just a little on the edge, you might find yourself in the floor. Okay, so we're going to get down and I'm going to do some other very important moves that typically we don't think about doing. One of the things we should always think about doing is how in the heck am I going to get myself up off the floor and down into the floor every day? Only if that's what you want to do without assistance for the rest of your life, barring an injury. Here we go. See this? See what I just did? My chair is here, number one. I might have two chairs here. I'm going to step back and I'm going to put my hands right here. And I'm going to gently help myself to the floor with my upper body. Okay? I'm going to stay or hold that position for a second. Now, you may not be able to kneel. Fine. Do this at the side of your chair or whatever, and just hold this pattern right here. Just hold right here. Put your hands here, and then go to the other side, and then sit back down. Okay? But if you can come into here, put your pad under your knee. This is a beautiful little garden pad. I'll have to show it to you sometime, Chrissy. It's barely an inch, if even, maybe it's a half inch. And it's very firm. And if you can kneel in that, it makes it a whole lot better as far as feeling. It doesn't bother me on my knees to kneel, but some people it does. So once I do that, I'm going to slide that leg back and be in the floor. Okay? You can be on the pad or on your balance pad or not. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. It's your call. But from here, your goal is to be moving unimpeded by a tight muscle that you have kind of strained. So what are we going to do? We're going to sit to the side, just like that. And we're going to push ourselves up. Then we're going to put our elbows down. See that? So all of these positions we're holding. Okay? And here's why I got you down here in the first place. There's actually two moves that I'm going to do with you down here that I really want to focus on. And here's the first one. And if you're a person that has an issue with a back, a hip, whatever, a knee, this is a very important move to put in your little every other day or everyday regime. So here I am. My shoulder is safe because it's in. Okay. All I'm going to do is push into my hands and I'm going to lift my hip off the floor. Now I'm not going to go for my heels or for my ankle. My knees are going to stay here. Okay. Now I'm doing this in a stacked position. You could do this with your legs split. And you're going to go into your palms and you're going to lift your hip with your elbow down. Yes, the harder version or the more challenging version, of course, is up here. But it's not necessary. And if you have a back on the edge, you don't want to get too tough here. So you can split the knees or you can stack them. Keep your shoulder in, tighten your tummy. And all that you want to do is roll to the front and you want to lift your hips. So we're going to hold that. You should notice something. When you are in this position, you can either use the top hand or not. Okay, this is going to be a little harder. This will give you a little support. We're taking breaths. And if you notice, I'm holding that word, holding. See that? I'm not doing tons of repetition, but I'm hitting a position and I'm holding. And then if I need to, if my back is kind of like not liking that move, then I won't hold it that long. I'll move to the other side. Or I may hold it as long as I can, 30 seconds. And then I'm going to bring the knees up. See this? Bringing your knees down, bringing your knees up is one of the great ways to get your back moving without stressing it. See this? This is a very functional move. Yeah. Try laying down and not being able to move into this position. Not easy. See this? Take a big deep breath, then bring them up, then stretch them out, then roll. You're going to roll to the other side. Okay? So here I am. Many of you, especially if your back is on the edge, can't sit in this position, and I know it. I know you have tight hamstrings, or you have tight glutes, which is part of the hamstring whole complex. So what are you going to do? You're going to bend one knee, or you're going to bend both. Here's what you're not going to do. When you're in this position, you are not going to round your back. You're going to open here. If you need to move somewhere, open here, open back. Put your hands down. Drop your shoulders. Yeah. And then put your legs down if you can. But you see, I'm not rounding my back. So this move is pretty pivotal to what we're trying to do here, okay? Okay, so once I've gone into an L sit, which this is an L sit, and maybe you can't do it here, but maybe you could do it laying down. We'll cover that before we get back up. So it just turned into 3 moves. So let's finish the first move, which is a side bridge. So now I'm going to just bring my legs to the other side. See, I'm rolling around on that hip. This is my hip replace side. This is my knee replace side. Okay? So here I am. If I want to make it very challenging, then I will do this in an up position. Not necessary, but you can. Go to your elbow. I like this position for people that might be having issues with joints. Okay? And you're like, oh, I hope I don't pull my back out. You don't need to. So do this position. Keep the elbow right underneath the shoulder joint. Hand here. Knees stacked or split, whichever you want. Tighten your belly button in. Okay? Tighten your belly button in. Are you ready? I'm going to lift. And I'm going to hang out here. And I'm going to hang out here. Somebody say, well, how long am I supposed to hang out there? So you know what my answer is, right? Well, how long can you hang out there? So take a breath. Try to hold 10 counts, okay, to start with. Sure, if you could hold this for 15 to 30 seconds, that'd be great. Okay, but hold it for at least 10, with or without the hand. When you go down, gently go down, okay? Maybe do it twice. Or you can even do it 3 times and do 10-second holds each. That'd be fine too. Let's do it one more time. Are you ready? Drop your shoulder. Yes. Roll into your hands right here. Yes. Breathe. Lift the hip. This move right here is going to help through your core, through your hips, through your knees so much. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. Keep your tummy tight. Breathe. 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 Come down gently, gently, gently. Bring those legs in. Yeah, stay in like you're gonna roll up in a little ball, but you don't. Take your legs out. See that? Bringing these knees in. I'm assisting here. And back out is a big deal. Don't do it fast. Don't do it quick. You could do it one leg at a time if you needed to. See, one at a time. But this move is kind of an important move. Okay? Take a breath and see, I'm doing it in kind of a side plank position or a side lifting position. Then I'm going to come here. If I have that problem of having tight hamstring gluteal issue, I'm going to keep one or both knees bent. Okay? My dog is dreaming. Okay. Take a breath. What am I going to do now? Instead of curling or flexing my back and possibly straining it, what am I going to do? I'm going to open back. Yeah. This is going to have to really work. Drop my shoulders. Okay? Right here. Big breath. My dog is snoring. I don't know if you hear it. So here I am. Here's what I will never tell somebody that's having a back issue. I will never have a person that's having a back issue go and lay straight down from this position. That is not a smart thing to do, okay? All I'm trying to get you to do right now is open your back, open your hips, drop your shoulders, put one leg down and keep one knee bent. Then I want to see dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. And if I had a knee issue, this is a perfect place to keep your motion, but be unloaded. So here I am. I'm taking care of my back. Of course, if you can go down straight away, that's great. But maybe you can't. So open at the hips, drop your shoulders, tighten your tummy, keep one knee bent, point and flex, point and flex. And if you do a series of these kinds of moves, see, you're unloaded, but you're getting movement, really great movement. And depending on whatever somebody's injury was, acute injury, it will let you know whether or not you can do even this. Okay, so you have to kind of be directing your own healthcare there. Nobody's in you but you. Let's hope so. And you're the one who knows whether you can do this kind of thing or not. But when you do this, point flex, point flex, point flex. So you got to know that anytime you have a knee injury, I don't care where it's at, anytime you have an ankle injury, a hip injury, your ability for flexing and moving your ankles is diminished. And so this kind of a simple move that I'm showing you right now could help you heal and stay unloaded. And that's all physical therapy is doing. It's trying to help you use your muscles, but not damage a further injury. See this? This is a very simple thing to do, okay? Now, you can pull this on further in that if you have a pillow and you put a bolster, roll up a pillow and put it right there under your knees, okay? I'll use this, for instance. I'll put it up here and I'll lean. See how I just pushed it into see, I've just done that and leaned back. See how I'm holding on to it? See this? This is a super thing to do if you've had injury in your knee. All I'm doing is flexing and extending. See? Pull it under, flex, pull it out, extend. See this? This not only is helping me get very good, gentle, rotational hip action, just like I was walking, but I'm unloaded. And if I wanted to really put you know, if I was okay to put weight on my ankle, then you could put a gentle leg weight on. But you see, when you go up like this, don't just do it and not think about it. I'm contracting my quad. And then I release and let go. Come in if you need to. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Open at the hip. Keep your chin tucked. Bring that leg up. Now squeeze and contract that quad. And bring it down. See, I'm hanging on to this. And I know that all of you that are on this morning, you have these, because you got them from me. So open back and contract and extend at the knee. Point flex, around and around, point flex, around and around. Bring it in and bring it back in. Then open at the hip again, bring the leg up, and we're holding. Okay, see that holding, and I'm contracting. So if I came in right now to your room, I would take my finger and I would poke it right here on your quad. And I would feel here, because I don't want you rounding your back. See, drop the shoulders, see? Now, really contract that quad. Point flex, point flex. Take a big deep breath and try to hold it there as long as you can. Really tighten that sucker down. Okay, just tighten it down. And if you're gonna hold it and get a good contraction here, then you don't have to do 10,000 of them, okay? So that's one idea. And I used this, but you could lean up against anything, have a, you know, one of those rolls that we used to use, or a pillow, and just contract against that and bring your leg up. So this is flexing, okay? This is contracting, contracting. Got it? Okay, moving on. For backs, if you feel like your back is just kind of on the edge, if you can't get in the floor, get in your bed. You got to do this next one. That's just all there is to it. You just got to. But do not lay yourself down by going back like that. Don't do it. Roll. See? Roll. Right down here. You're down in the floor. And you're going to go over. This isn't the move. This is prepping you. See this? See this? Bring your knee in and just roll over. Take a breath. Bring your knee up. Bring the other one over. So just do a few wave moves with your knees. Gently, gently. Take a breath. Drop your shoulders. Here we go. Bring the knee in and over. Hang on to it for a little bit. If you need to just do one and hang on to it, just do one and hang on to it. Keep that knee in that bent position. Take a breath. Come back up. Last one. Here we go. Over, over. And just hang out here. See, my palm is up. Shoulders are down. Bring that knee right up to your armpit almost. And just meld into the floor. Okay? That's number one. After you've done a few of them, now, as I'm doing this, I know good and well that there's some of you cannot put your head down in the floor. I know it. So you slip that little balance pad right under your head if you need to. I don't need to, but I'm just telling you that's acceptable. Once you've done that, you're going to straighten those legs out. And when you're in that position, I want you to tighten your butt really tight. And then release. Okay? So your legs are straight down. Put the pad under your head if you need to. And all I want you to do right now is tighten your gluteals. So you should tighten your gluteals, and it lifts that lordosis in the back. It lifts it. See, just by tightening in the butt. I didn't even tell you to do anything with your spine. All in the world I said to do is have your feet down, your palms open, looking up. And now, right now, with your shoulders down, squeeze your butt. And it will raise the back up a bit, okay? So you're getting movement through the spine just by squeezing your gluteals. Once you've done that and you've held this position for a little bit, and for those of you who are fighting things like arthritis, osteoporosis, this is a move that the physical therapist that does the program, the Meeker method, she tries to get people with osteoporosis and arthritis to lay in this position for 15 minutes every day. Oh, anyway, at least you got a few minutes. Now bring one leg up, bring the other leg up. Your feet are on the floor, and all you're going to do now is tighten that butt again. That's all you're going to do. Tighten the butt. It's going to be lifting your pelvic bone, and you're going to push into the heels, and you're going to gently lift those hips up. Okay, so the side bridge and the back bridge, or lifting your hips to the side and lifting it up in a prone position, are two of the basic moves that you've got to work through gently to help realign your own back, your own self. Okay, so see how I came down? Now you can, at this point, you can go right ahead and go all the way down. Squeeze that butt, release the butt. You'll feel the movement through the spine. These are very little, very hardly perceived moves, okay? So this is real personal, very small moves that really make a big difference. Okay, drop your shoulders, number one, because they've creeped up around your ears. I know it, okay? That's just what slugs do. Okay, you ready? Take a breath. Squeeze your butt. Squeeze it, really contract it. Really contract it. And then release it. Now, before we come back up again, we're going to bring one knee and we're going to go over. And we're going to take notice. Do I feel tightness and where? Then we're going to bring it back. Okay, keep your chin tucked. Big breath. Bring your knee in and then over. Okay, so now instead of doing two legs, we're doing one at a time. Where is the tightness? Is it in the hip? Do you feel it in your back? It should feel better when you're done with this, okay? Take a breath. Here we go. Bring the legs up. Dig the heels in. You're going to, first of all, squeeze the butt. Then you're going to come up, 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 one vertebrae at a time. Come all the way up, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. Now, I just want you to hold it up there, okay? Typically, they will tell you physical therapy, they want you to do 30 of these. I'm telling you, hold it, squeeze tight, and hold it for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, at least up to, if you can, 30 seconds. And if not, that's fine. Just hold it 10 counts and come down. And release, release, release. Put those legs back down. Okay, and now we're going to do one little thing that's a little different here. We're going to take one leg and just cross it over and put our foot down. See how I'm putting my foot down as I crossed over? Okay, my whole foot is down on the ground. Then I just bring it back and I straighten it out. Then I bend the other one and I cross over my knee and put my foot down. Okay, this little move right here, this gentle crossing over and then putting back down. Your tummy's tight, right? Your shoulders are down, right? Of course they are. Take a big breath. Now, point, flex, tighten the butt. Bring the knees up, push into the heels, rotate. The vertebrae is rotating. They're coming all the way up and we're holding. We're holding, we're holding, we're holding, we're holding. Take a big breath through your nose. Push that belly button out and then come back in. Do it 1, 2, 3 times. Bring that butt up, squeeze it tight. And then come back down, come back down, come back down, come back down, come back down. Okay? Now I'm going to bring one knee in, hold it right here. Then I'm going to bring the other knee in. I'm going to hold it right here. And then I'm just going to move my knees over to the side a tiny bit and over to the side a tiny bit. I'm not rolling. I'm just moving it. Past my belly button with my knees. Past the belly button with my knees. Okay. Once I've done that, I'm just going to hang on right here. Do not raise your hips off the ground. You're just in this move. You're going to tighten in your tummy. And all in the world you're going to do is pretend that I have my hand about 1 inch or 2 above your nose. You're going to take a breath and you're going to lift your head as if you were going to put the nose right into my palm. You're going to hold it. You're going to take breaths. You're going to hold it. You're going to point flex. See, I'm not rolling up. All I'm doing is bringing my nose up to meet the palm of my hand. Then I'm going to gently put it back down. Okay? Now turn to the side with your head. Turn to the side with your head. And all we're going to do is 2 of these, and we're going to hold it as long as we feel we can. But here's what you cannot do. You cannot act like you're pulling your head down. You're going to lift your head up in a protracted move. And you're going to act like I have my palm about 1 inch above your nose. Okay? And before you do that move, you're going to take a big breath. You're going to tighten in like bracing. And then you're going to lift. And your tummy has to be braced the whole time. And you're going to hold it right there. And you're going to breathe. You're going to hold it. You're going to breathe. You're going to hold it. You're going to breathe. Hold it. Breathe. Then go down gently. Turn your head to the side. Turn your head to the side. Okay? Now take one leg. Hold one knee in as tight as you can into the chest. And you're going to tighten your tummy. And with one leg, you're going to go down as far as you feel you can. You're going to hold it. And you're going to hold it. You're going to hold it. The tummy is tight. You're going to hold it. You're going to hold it. Drop your shoulders. Take a breath. Point flex. Point flex. Point flex. Your back should not be coming up. Take a breath. Take a breath. We're holding. See, there's that word again. See, I'm not doing tons of repetition, but I'm holding these patterns. Take a breath and come back in when you think, okay, I can't hold it even another count. Then you come back in. Relax. Take your knees just past your belly button. Take your knees just past the belly button. Just past the belly button. Now we're going to keep one leg in. The other leg comes up. You're going to tighten your tummy. Take a breath. Exhale as you take it out. Now 2 little short breaths. Make sure you're keeping your tummy tight. Stay in neutral spine. You can do point flexes if you want to as you're holding. You're holding. You're holding. Stay with me. You're doing good. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. And bring it back in and bring it back in. And you're going to notice that you're much stronger on one side versus the other side doing that simple move. Okay? So that has to do with your core integrity. It has to do with your back. It has to do with your leg muscles. But it's all unloaded type work. Okay? Now I'm going to roll to the side. Even though I could get myself up, I don't want you to do that. I want to roll to the side and get ready to get up on all fours, because we've already done one of the most important things. It's time to go, I know. Because we did the cat camel, but we did it modified. So now I'm going to come up here and I'm going to lean in, stand up, and just pull out. So now I'm going to push my butt back and really push forward. After I do that, a few seconds, I'm going to come back in and I'm going to come up. Walking away right now, you should feel so much better. That's my hope anyway.